Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy.
I'm Paz.
And this is Behemoth. But before that, welcome back.
Thank you. I didn't manage to find Sandra Bullock, sadly, out in space.
You just drifted apart. Whee! Right. Yeah, Behemoth. So, it's one of those bands that you hear of because they've been around for a very long time, but I've never really listened to.
No, me neither.
No. They're Polish, and they're described on Wikipedia, because that's where I looked it up, as blackened death metal. So if you'd asked me before I'd looked it up, I would have said they were Norwegian.
Norwegian black metal.
And black metal, yeah. So it just shows what I know. So yeah, it's one of those bands that's been around a very long time. I know they have quite a big following. I've got to try and say what the name of this song is now. It's Ecclesia Diabolica Catholica. It's pretty good, isn't it? Well done, me. And it's from this album, I Loved You at Your Darkest, which is a cool sort of name.
Was this a recommendation from someone?
No, this was a recommendation from YouTube.
Okay.
That literally said, hey, you might like this. This is not brand new, but it came out January this year, and the album, I'm not sure when the album out, but clearly it's very new. Yeah, not entirely sure, but it's got, I mean, you know, if you think about it, for a blackened death metal band, this video on YouTube has 1.3 million views. So, you know, it's pretty good for...
Yeah, looking forward to this, actually.
That kind of genre. And like I said, I haven't got any Behemoth albums. And I mean, I may have heard them in the past because they've been around such a long time, but I can't...
Yeah, it reminds like Rotting Christ or something like that. I never listened to it as I was growing up. I know they've been around a long time, and I just never went there. You know,
yeah.
as a metal genre, I never really went there. So, my knowledge in that area is lacking. I must admit, so.
And I think there's some really good stuff, because Rotting Christ really surprised me at how good they were. Because the name of it kind of puts me off for Rotting Christ. You know, back it used to kind of thing. But yeah, so let's see what we get, I think, as usual. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this, because they've got a huge following, and that can't be by accident, can it? I have an answer for that, I'm not going to say it. Right.
You can tell I've been desensitised by such things as in the middle of a technical death metal song with macabre imagery, a bloke covered in nails and a fallen angel tied up and being put back into, and nonchalantly sip my tea.
Going, those nails must have took a long time to sort out.
Yeah.
This is one of those songs that makes me think that there's more to discover, because there were to begin with I thought there's not a lot to this, and then they added some more bits kind of thing, and I thought, and they've got a huge back catalogue, and it makes me think there's probably more to discover, because it does have the sort of epicness to it that I always like, without ever really becoming totally epic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like hinted at.
Yeah, that little break with the sort of the choir comes in the background. Yeah.
It makes me wonder if that you think, I wonder if I heard more of this, you would, maybe they build on that more in other songs, say, or whatever. Because to be honest, the first third is like, I don't know, 3 chord progressions kind of thing.
Yeah, it's musically fairly straightforward, and I thought musically the whole thing I really enjoyed, far more than I ever thought I would do. And some of the changes that were really interesting, the middle bit, and even that acoustic bit towards the end. That's a nice touch, that I thought. And that's
what I mean. It makes me think, there's more here to go.
And I thought the opening riff was really good, fit in well, and it's difficult to blend a riff into like a blast beaty thing, but that riff was really well pitched there. And it sounded amazing on these headphones.
Well, I turned it.
Really good.
I'm sure everyone would have noticed. Like I leant over like this. I turned it up because I thought, this needs to be louder.
Good mix, a good solo as well.
Yeah.
There's only just one thing I struggled with, which might come with repeated listens, and that's the tone of his voice, not what he was actually doing. It was a bit grating. It's one of those ones I have to get used to, I think.
You can get death metal voices where they're singing a death metal voice, and then you can get the opposite end where you've got someone literally shouting a death metal voice. And this was somewhere in between.
Yes, totally. Yeah. I think if he had a monomarth type voice, I probably would have been all over this, going, it's amazing. But it just had that harshness that
like it doesn't have a lot of melody.
No. Yeah.
So that was my problem with the
gravelling melodies.
I know it sounds weird, but a monomarth, they've got a ton of melody in their stuff. If you're going to use them as an example, some bands can really get across a melody even in the midst of their blackened death metal sort of thing. But his voice didn't have a lot of melody. That was my problem with At the Gates. Then their newer albums, it just felt like he shouted every. I'm going to get some crap for saying this, but it just felt like the songs were great until he sang, and then they all were the same while he shouted in the At the Gates, the new At the Gates albums. I say the new At the Gates albums, because I don't mean like the 1980s At the Gates, the 2000s At the Gates. And I was so excited to see At the Gates come back, and it just didn't. His voice just didn't. Anyway, we're not talking about that, are we? So yeah, Behemoth. I liked it.
Yeah,
it didn't make me jump out of my seat or anything, but it made me think there's more here than.
It's piqued my interest.
Yeah,
I must admit, from sort of, never dismissed them. It's just never listened to. Think I always thought.
I thought it was a black metal.
I
thought it was. I'd kind of pigeonholed them incorrectly in my head as just this black metal. Not just, but you know what I mean. That's what they were, black metal band from somewhere in Scandinavia, and I was completely wrong.
And now I'm older, I can appreciate it more and listen to it.
Yeah, that too. I know there are people who watch this channel who are not so much, and they don't like the growling or the Cookie Monster. Mike really liked it when I said the Cookie Monster thing. He'd never heard that before. They're hilarious. This is not Cookie Monster, is it? But
No.
and there are people who don't like that, and they won't like this. They just won't. But I do. I like. It's got an epic hint to it. I think it grows into an epic-ish. It's epic-ish.
And you have to make the assumption that this is the accessible one. So because they made a video with accessible.
Unless they're too cool to care about being accessible.
Yeah, accessible one with some bloke on a cross with little nails in him.
Yeah, you should see the one that's not accessible. Yeah.
But musically, I think we might get a bit more progressive in the album. You have to make that assumption from what we've heard in there. But that's what these videos are for, aren't they? To pique your interest.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I turned it up because I thought this needs to have kind of an overwhelming volume to it in a way, because it's kind of made to be big. The production was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, Behemoth. Never done that one before.
Yeah. Nonchalant have another sip.
And now we're having it with all out your cup covered in hearts. Yeah. These are the hearts he tore from the...
I've got 9 Iron Maiden mugs down on Earth. I should bring one up next time.
So let us know what you think as usual.
When my mum comes around for a cup of tea, she has it out of a Somewhere in Time mug. She has no idea what she's drinking out of. It's funny. Sorry.
I was doing my big wrap up.
You're not good at rap.
No, you're right. Bye.
T.M.